finally found the most generic live show. This is the Generic Live Show. Hello everyone and welcome to the Generic Live Show. This is the Generic Live Show for the 2nd of February, for the 4th of February, 4th of February 2018. My name's Dale Campbell. It is a new show, it is a new month, it's a new dawn, and it's a new day talking about vegetarians who eat meat now. Pre-show bits. This is the Generic Live Show, the most generic live show on the internet. Hi everyone, it's Dale Campbell here with you. We're doing it for Geek.io. Thanks for joining us. It's a pleasure, as per always, to be here. We're running a little behind for the live show viewers because I went on an explosive pre-show rant that you can tune in live for at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 8:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time as the 9 o'clock train leaves the station. I don't know. I didn't think that came up in the microphone last week, but there's a train that goes by my house at 9 o'clock in the morning, so I know when to start the show is when I hear that. When I hear the train leave the station. It is a wet day out there today, so everyone stay safe and don't do anything stupid. And it's a good day actually to be knocked up inside. Oh, by the way, I just want to get this out here before, while the show is still young, the Discord lines are now open. You can head on over to geek-io.net/discord, join channel, voice channel general. I'll be in chat general. I'll be your chat general. If you want to call in live, or if you want to join the Discord for after-hours conversations, you can do so at geek-io.net/discord. That train's very distracting. I'm a little out of it this week. Just wanna put it out there. Just a little sauced. So please bear with me. I want to thank everyone for their feedback last week about a couple of things. One about the new time slot, the new American-friendly time slot that we now have at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. That's 8:30 a.m. Monday Australian Eastern Standard Time. Over at twitch.tv/geek.io show, and it went off really well. We had a very explosive 3 hours, and it went really well. And I also want to thank everyone for their feedback on all of the Logan Paul stuff, Mr. Paul's vacation stuff. I got some really good feedback about that. One particular element that a listener emailed in, I don't want to give their name out just because they didn't say that they could or couldn't, and I'm really weird like that. But a listener emailed in saying that I forgot to mention that PewDiePie, of all people, were railing against Logan Paul for his kind of comments on Mr. Paul, and that was like, oh yeah, that's right, thank you for letting me know, and it was really cool. So you can email the show as well at genericliveshow@gmail.com at any time. Emails are 24 hours a day. Turns out emails never close. So there you go. But that was a good point of PewDiePie, a person who also has landed himself in controversy, also decided to rail against a person who is currently in trouble. And it's like, oh, the trouble's not, and we were chatting back and forward, and it was kind of like, yeah, this person who had trouble in the past is now, and this is also another thing about the YouTube culture, and if you listen to last week's post show, you'll get a better feel for this, but we forgot to mention it, about how YouTube's now this deflecting platform where it's like, let's deflect off let's deflect off the current troubles that I'm having, and let's put that on someone else. So I'm not in trouble anymore. Doo-dah, doo-dah. That's what YouTube has become. It's not become about, particularly we're talking large scale, and like CJ Boat from Geek.io mentioned last week, it was like the small independent creators are still working their butts off, getting multiple days of content out there a week, whereas these big people are basically their content's either deflecting off themselves, creating controversial content, or deflecting and saying, turn your attention to this person and rail against them. Not like they've had enough railed against them already, if that makes sense. So, there you go. So, about that. So that's all the feedback I wanted to get into here at the top of the first hour, because, first hour, just get all the housekeeping out of the way. But today, ladies and gentlemen, is a very special day. We are going to be talking about getting soup out of a can and putting it into a bowl. Thank you, Josh from Geek.io, for creative comments on that one. Just getting soup into a bowl. Yeah, the big game, we can't say what it is. Super Bowl, see, there you go, is happening is it happening right now? No, it's not happening right now. It's happening in 20 minutes. 20 minutes until the big game. Ooh! So here is everything you need to know. More than 65,000 fans will fill US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The 52nd edition of the Super Bowl plays out on Monday morning Australian time, and as usual, there's much interest off the field as there is on it. So the ticket price. So here's the numbers. We're going to break down the numbers here, and yes, the show is pretty much about this. There's a few other things in the second hour that we've pushed there. Ticket prices are up to $5,000. An ad spot to play an ad, and no, we won't be watching ads on the stream because I don't want to be taken down, is $6,300,000. The 6.3 million for 30 seconds. The crowd, as previously mentioned, was 66,000. Private plane tickets to Twin Cities this week were up to $1,500. There were 41,000 hotel room booked. 5,000 reporters are covering the game. Average TV viewers last year were at $111.3 billion. Dollars spent on beer during last year's game was $1.3 billion US. That's billion with an M. I like doing that. Billion with a B. Billion with an M. Each Patriots player Super Bowl bonus last year was $135,000 each. Back-to-back Soup Owls winners were 8, and teams that have never won are at 13. The New England Patriots are playing in their 6th in NFL championship with the Philadelphia in search of their maiden victory when they take the field in Indianapolis. So the halftime show is also, apart from the commercials and the wings, man, I could do with some wings. I'm just gonna put that out there. Man, I could do with some wings. The halftime show is also with some wings. put that in there. Oh, not add title. Oops. Add quote. I mean, we can add titles if you want, but they won't make the show. So there you go. Now that that's on the record forever, I will always feel like wings. The halftime show is also one where a couple of years ago, I don't know if you remember it, but I certainly do, of where Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson were on stage, and he indeed got her naked by the end of that song. Well, Justin Timberlake returns to the halftime show as if they've learnt nothing. It's the first time since 2004 since that wardrobe malfunction incident happened. This will be his third performance. He also performed as a part of NSYNC in 2001. Man, NSYNC performed at the Super Bowl halftime show in 2001. Did they have those ridiculous Christmas sweaters on though? That's what I want to know. Justin Timberlake looks really weird now without all of his hair. If I can bring your attention to this, he looks really, really weird without all his hair, right? That's not just me. Look at all that. He has no hair. Oh, ow. That was my hand on the desk. Yeah, he has no hair. Like, I'm not imagining that, right? That's all I've had that he's like, I solemnly swear that I will not rip Janet Jackson's clothes off this time. I promise. It's raise your right hand down. I solemnly swear. I solemnly swear, in Christ's name, Justin Timberlake, I will not rip Janet Jackson's clothes off this time. A word from the sponsors. Promoted, quote unquote, promoted advertisers cough up $5 million US at 6.3 buckaroonies in Australia for a 30-second spot this year. The list of stars, because it has to be, of course, a star-studded event with the most viewed television event every year. We've got appearances from Jeff Bezos, Gordon Ramsay, Rebel Wilson, Cardi B. She's making leaves move, apparently, Cardi B. Anthony Hopkins, Peter Dinklage, Busta Rhymes, Morgan Freeman, Missy Elliott, Steven Tyler, and Chris Pratt. Which one of these is not like the other? Oh, and then of course, there are some people playing a sportsball game eventually. So there's that. We actually got some clipperoonies here, which is exciting. I don't know why I said it so surprisingly. So here is actually, you know what, we will play this. This is a sportsball 52 dummies guide. I hope this doesn't get us in trouble, but we'll see what happens. If it loads. And of course it's going to be a commercial. Or it won't load. But this dummy guide, it'll interrupt me when it is. Hi there, Carry Me Rye. Welcome. Here we go. Where am I?
Once again, the calendar hits the day for $5 tinnies, breakfast martinis, and the 10 million pounds of devoured ribs that make the Super Bowl the great day off it is. But if you're not quite fine-tuned with the Jims and Joes of the big game, the Dummies Guide to Super Bowl 52 has arrived, featuring the 5-time champion New England Patriots in all their glory and the 0-time champion Philadelphia Eagles in all of theirs. A season ravaged by injury has left us with what some believe is a lopsided season finale in Minnesota, or as John Malkovich put it,
it is the story of David versus Goliath.
So let's open with David, aka the Eagles of Philadelphia. It all starts up front on defense for Philly with Timmy Jernigan, Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox boasting a pretty short to-do list. Blow up the Patriots offense and keep hammering touchdown Tommy until he makes this face.
Brady going down.
Next up is Malcolm Jenkins, one of the men tasked with covering electrolyte and rum-fueled frat boy Rob Gronkowski. Jenkins has all the skill you could hope for marshalling the deep half of Philly's D and is just basically
a badass mother who don't take no crap of nobody.
And finally to Nick Foles, the backup quarterback who's somehow come off the bench after Carson Wentz's ACL tear and rallied the Eagles like it was varsity blues.
I love that dog. I think it's big. Yeah.
Over to the Patriots, schemed up by their ever-emotive head coach Bill Belichick and starring 40-year-old massage enthusiast and sunscreen truther Tom Brady, with his bejeweled hair and all. Tom's lieutenants this year outside of Gronk, on Darren Lewis, a shorebird to break a few ankles, and Danny Amendola, half Irish, half Italian, and a full-time replacement for their other little white receiver, Julian Edelman.
Fox Sports getting sassy!
So the Eagles, tenacious, battle-hardened underdogs who wear dog masks and throw beer cans at the opposition, and the Patriots who scrap through the AFC and ensure Jaguars' pain thrived evermore.
Will they ever win the Super Bowl?
Jason, I can't predict the future. But no, they won't.
All this leads us to one big question we'll soon know the answer to. How long will it take Pink to sing the national anthem? Because frankly, with no vision, Vegas has as good a feel for this as Belichick does for his tablet.
Look out, tablet.
So whichever team you side with, here's to whatever drink you're sipping, to one more Timberlake halftime show, and perhaps an homage to fallen Super Bowl hero Prince in his hometown. Merry Super Bowl, everyone. Merry Super Bowl.
Oh yes, that's another good point. Is the fact that I forgot that the halftime show will feature a hologram of Prince, again in all his glory in his home state. You be quiet, Fox Sports. I forgot about that. And that's, that's awesome that he's going to be at the Super Bowl. I want to see how that works, because that'll be very interesting to see how that works. And no, that's not me saying that ironically. That's literally a thing I say now. But we will continue our Super Bowl coverage a little bit later on. So there you go. Thank you everyone for joining us on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. We are going to be doing a very special edition of Same As You Remember, Same As It Ever Was. We're doing a Souptacular special. All of these names are going to be put into a mashup of of euphemisms that we can't say the actual name of. But thank you everyone for joining us on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. Same as you remember, same as it ever was. Is up next. Thanks for joining us on the Generic Live Show 922. Enjoying the show? Want more once we go offline? You can keep the conversation going in the Geek.io Discord over at geek-io.net/discord. Hang out with all of your favorite Geek.io personalities, and if you support our Patreon at patreon.com/geek.io, you get exclusive content. Again, keep the conversation alive once we go offline over at geek-io.net/discord. Are you a fan of the Generic Live Show? Now you can fill your home with the best Generic Live Show products by heading over to Generic Live Home. You can either pick up a Generic Live mug, or a Generic Live shirt, or even a Generic Live pillow, or maybe even all three. Everything at Generic Live Home is at affordable prices. So go check out the full range now over at geek-io.net/Generic Live Home. And we thank you for your support of the Generic Live Show. The Generic Live Show is proudly powered by you. That's right, you. Patreon.com/geekio is where you can support this show and all of your favorite Geek.io productions. For as little as $1 a month, you get everything that we do in one nice nifty RSS feed. And you can get a special room in our Discord at geek-io.net/discord and hang out with all of your favorite geeks. Just head on over to patreon.com/geekio. That's patreon.com/geekio, GEEKIO, for all the reward levels, including a produce your own show level, and for all of the details. We thank you for your support.
Hold on tight. This is the Generic Live Show.
Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Daryl Campbell here with you. We're doing it for Geek.io. Thanks for joining us. Whether you're listening to us live or on your hard drive, it's a pleasure as per always. Remember, our Discord lines are open. geek-io.net/discord. Channel general. Until I get a moderator and then I can't do anything else. Channel general for all the hot business. Welcome back to the Generic Live Show, sportsball edition, the Generic Live Locker Room. Here you go, where we're getting change. Wow, wow, wow. No, there you go. Wow, wow, wow. But I hope you're enjoying the show thus far. So I thought I'd do something a little bit special for the Generic Live Show. The same as it ever was, same as you remember, same as it ever was. Our show, the part of the show, not the show. Man, could you imagine if I did that as a full show? Ugh, gross. I might. You never know. It might spin out. It is quite popular. The same as it ever was. Same as you remember. Same as it ever was. You would think I'd learn the title by now. It's that long. The part of the show where we take a trip back in time and tell you what happened during that time. But today, I thought I would run down some of the super duper sports ball games that have taken place over the years. Starting with the very first, I'm going to show this on screen, I can. Including the very first one, the number numero uno, in January 15th, 1967 was the first one. This is the first 10. I'm going to show the first 10 here. The first one it was held at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Green Bay 35, Kansas City 10. Number 2, the Super Bowl 2, was January 14th, 1968. It was held at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Green Bay won again, 33-14 against Oakland. Number 3 was held on January 12th, 1969 at the Orange Bowl. New York Jets were 16 over Baltimore's 7. Number 4 was held on January 11th, 1970 at Tulane Stadium in New Orleans. Kansas City 23, Minnesota 7. And then we got 5, which was held on January 17th, 1971, again at the Orange Bowl in Miami. with Baltimore scoring 16 against Dallas's 13. Super Bowl 6 was held January 16th, 1972, again in New Orleans. Dallas won that one, 24-3. Then we got Super Bowl 8, going back to January 14th, 1973, held again at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Miami won 14 to Washington 7. Number, what that'd be, 8 was held on January 13th, 1974 at Rice Stadium in Houston. Miami won that again, 24 to Minnesota 7. Then, there's a little black bar that keeps rising up and down. I don't know what that is. Number 9 was held on January 12th, 1975 in New Orleans. Pittsburgh got 16 to Minnesota 6. And 10 was held on January 18th, 1976. Where is that one? 1976. In Miami again. Pittsburgh 21, Dallas 17. And then they just kept getting later and later. So, doing a few randos here. January 9th seems to be the outlier. Rose Bowl in California. Pasadena, in fact. Oakland 32. Minnesota 14. And then they just kept pushing back. January 20th, 1980. January 25th, 1981. January 30th in 1983. The first one that was in February, though, was XVI, so that would be 36 in 2002 in the Super Bowl Superdome in New Orleans. And then they kept getting later. The last one was 51. And February 5th, 2017, in the NRG Stadium in Houston, New England Patriots versus Atlanta Falcons. And New England Patriots took it out. 50 was 2 years ago? Yeah, well, that would make sense considering this one's 52. I mean, really, that would be that. I want to see... my new favorite thing is to find what it's sponsored on this. It's to find out what's sponsored, what the sponsored links are on some of these. Unmissable flight sales end soon. Gallery, Jag fans are happy to see their cast 13 years after the... here's where to watch the original Stan... What? Here's where to watch the new Stan original series Wolf Creek. I mean, you just gave it away. And don't waste money on the wrong health insurance. Compare. Makes sense. Seems legit. As we continue here on the Jarek Live Show for a Sunday, well... we're gonna break down. We're gonna peek behind the curtain into why sportsball ads are so important, and then we're gonna break down some myths and legends about the sportsball culture, because that'll end well for sure. Thanks for joining us as we continue. Here on the Jank Live Show, it's Dale Campbell here with you. It's a pleasure as always. Thanks for joining me. It's 9:32.
This Kiko Podcast Network is proudly sponsored by T-Fury. T-Fury is the home of your t-shirt needs. Well, we're all geeks, and we all love wearing t-shirts because, well, society tells us that we can't walk around naked, allegedly. So we've got you covered. T-Fury is the home of t-shirts with geeky designs from independent artists. What's there not to love? T-shirts, geekiness, indie. Yay! When you're ready to go check out the range, use our affiliate link over at geek-io.net/TFURY T Fury, so we can get a little bit of a kickback off any t-shirt that is bought from the hundreds of t-shirts available at T Fury. T Fury, the match made in heaven. A match made in heaven is not actually the T Fury slogan, although I don't actually know what the T Fury slogan is. Opinions that are reflected in the preceding advertisement towards the opinions of Dale Campbelloni and are not reflect those of the Geek Arrow Podcast Network, its affiliates, or sponsors. This Geek Arrow Podcast Network is proudly sponsored by Think Geek. Think Geek is the biggest online retailer of all things geeky. That's right, everything geeky. And they stock the biggest brands in geekiness like Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Minecraft, Legend of Zelda, Marvel, Game of Thrones, DC Comic, and Geek Labs. And they sell a whole bunch of things like collectibles, electronics and gadgets, t-shirts and apparel, gifts. They sell it all over at Think Geek. And they have free shipping on orders over $75 or a flat $6.95 US standard shipping to all places in the US. So when you're ready to check out the range over at Think Geek, the online geek superstore, just use our link to go over to Think Geek over at geek-io.net/thinkgeek. That gives us a little bit of a kickback on what you buy. Don't worry, we're not stealing your shoe size or asking you for a blood sample. It's okay. We're only getting a kickback from what you buy. We don't actually see what you buy from Think Geek. Join in, geek out, Think Geek. We thank Think Geek for their support of the Geek.io Podcast Network.
Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. 4 little words in a paper and orange, and I'm better D on the money on my tongue, and I'm stop singing.
Contact the show at any time. genericliveshow@gmail.com. This is the Generic Live Show.
Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. We're doing it for Geek.io. Thanks for joining us. We had a roadblock there. I don't know what happened. We had a little bit of a data block and everything's freezing up. On my computer's having production block. Just doesn't want to produce anymore, but we're going to push through without it. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. I don't know what's happening. Thank you for joining us. We're here talking some game for you, because that's what we do. We like talk game. We talk game to you. We don't talk dirty. We talk game. And in talking game today. Oh, by the way, again, segment reminder: our Discord lines are open. geek-io.net/Discord. And I want to make sure everything works. Literally everything just went. Nope. Works. I'm just gonna put works there and see what happens. See what happens. Oh, it works. Alright, so here we go, Mario. So you might think to yourself that the quality of the game ads have dropped in years. I mean, and you'd be kind of right. I know there was some negativity around the 2016 ones, and I know that 2017
struck me was how it looks. Takes you by surprise because it breaks from the norm.
And I can't mute that video. Alright. An ad interrupting GLS. Who had that? How about we... Hey. Hey, CBS? How about you don't autoplay videos for me? Thanks. So, according to CNN Money, I better unmute that channel, otherwise this is going to make the rest of the show pretty awkward. So CNN Money has an I think it's an opinion piece about why the ads still matter in the age of YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Why a marketer is still willing to throw down millions of dollars for a 30-second spot on a ad. It's simple. The NFL is our marquee event, and it's the TV's biggest game in town, and nothing else comes close. Quote, a lot of trends that we've seen in the media over the past decade have been the only one... excuse me. Take two. Quote, a lot of trends that we've seen in the media world over the past decade have only made the big game more important, unquote, said Tim Calkins, a marketing professor at Northwestern University Kellogg School of Management. Calkins, who studied commercials for the big game for years, said the game bucks advertising trends in an important way. While TV network ratings are struggling, the NFL Championship, the RSL Championship remains the best way to reach as many people as possible at once. About 112 million people, wow, Dale, get moving, watched last year's matchup between New England Patriots and Atlanta Falcons. More than 61 million tuned in for the post-game show, according to Nielsen. That's still pretty good. 61 million for a post-show game? That's not bad, considering that's what many people just tune in for, is the actual just the show. Other NFL playoff games trailed this as the big game. Get out of my way, pop-up ads. Another, probably something about 34 million people. Alright, the superb owl is just much to watch the commercials in the game itself. Quote, there's a symbolic nature to big game advertisement that isn't the same as other platforms, he says. Quote, the big game ad used to be a big game ad, but over the past decade it became a 2-week extravaganza. MMA teasing this year's ad spot with a 15-second YouTube spot featuring actor Danny DeVito swimming in a pool of chocolate. Calkin said another common tactic is for companies to release the ad ahead of time on YouTube. It might seem counterintuitive to give away the surprise before you have a captive audience. But Calkin said it's a good spot to generate welcome buzz. If someone watches an ad on YouTube and enjoys it, he says, there's a chance that person will talk about it at the Superb Owl party before it hits the air. Prime example of that phenomenon was Volkswagen's successful Pulsar commercial in 2011. The ad, titled The Force, featured a child in a big sci-fi movie franchise title. This is the copyright copyright-free version of this show. Attempting the franchise's special powers on his dog, a launching machine, and eventually his parents' new car. The minute-long YouTube version was a hit, and the kid gave several interviews after it went viral, including an anchor to CNN. Time magazine called it the ad that changed the big game commercials forever. Sure. And this article goes on to talk about how you want to make it as interactive as possible for the audience, and you want to make it as kind of, you've got a captive audience, so you may as well use them to your advantage, and that's fine. Like that's marketing 101 is using your audience that are already there and are going to be watching through the games. You can't really. The one metric that's wrong with that, and I always stumbled upon this upon doing marketing, my marketing degree, is that you do have a captive audience. You've got the numbers there, but how many people are actually watching the ad and are actually there and are actually responding to the ad? Yes, you get a better metric with that with YouTube, with views on YouTube, because the fact that people have to actually go to YouTube, and whether or not it's featured or it's in their totally fair homepage that has all the aggregated content in it, whether it's there or not, you can still figure it out from there. But also, I think the one thing, but there's a step further in that process that wasn't there when what am I trying to say? There's a not a passive. What's the other one for passive? There's an interaction there. You have to actually interact. You have to actually go to YouTube. It's not just passively in the background as you eat your wings. Again, man, I could do with some wings. That's what if we made the logo a wing? Just make the logo a wing. But apart from that, so it's not there passively on in the background and no one's paying attention to it whilst there is a party going on, and that's another thing too. There's a whole party going on, whereas sure you can put YouTube on a television, but again, and that only counts for one interaction with YouTube, particularly with the commercials. That's one interaction. But you have people intently focused on the screen at that point, unless you're putting on background music or a movie or something and people are like doze off or go and do something else. And I know I'm guilty of just putting on a podcast while I'm cooking. And my primary focus is not listening to the podcast in that situation, but having it on in the background. But I'm still going to YouTube. It's not like we have the television on and there's a bunch of people. Particularly with podcasts, is a little different than say commercials or music. But you go that extra step further and you go, right, we're gonna watch commercials now. No one does that at a party, by the way. No one turns up to a party. And I haven't been to many parties. I'm not judging. If that's someone's kink, that's fine. If that's a new millennial trend that I'm missing, please correct me. But I don't know many people that are turning up to parties to just watch commercials. But you know what I mean. Like there's times there where you're just paying attention to YouTube videos or whatever. Plus, again, better metric of how many people actually watch that commercial, because I'm gonna say 99.9999999% chance that the commercial number, the number of views on the commercial on YouTube, is a lot smaller than the viewership numbers. Again, people have it on the backgrounds of shows and they're passively watching it as opposed to actively. Man, why couldn't I think of the word actively? So there you go. Anyway, as we continue here on the Jake Live Show, we've only got we've only got 2 minutes to the 50-minute mark, so I'm going to save this myth busting, because it makes me feel good, until the next hour. How about that? How about we leave myths until the second hour? Facts in the first hour, myths in the second hour. Anyway, as we continue here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday, we're going to be taking a break now. It's way too much sports ball chat for my liking, so we're going to take a little bit of a break now and we'll talk about cute animal sounds. A killer whale learns to imitate human speech. And it's adorable. It's so cute. Oh my god. As we continue here on the Generic Live Show, thanks for joining us. It's Dale Campbell here with you on your big day. As you know, it's going to be a good day as we continue. Thanks for joining us. It's 9:49.
Generic Live Show is sponsored by Tweaked Audio. With 7 styles and 7 colors, there are mic'd and non-mic'd options available. Designed to sound great with music and talk, and engineered for durability. All options come with a lifetime guarantee and a noise-reducing design. Compatible with all of your devices, even those weird Windows phones. We have an exciting offer just for you. If you use our coupon code GEEK, at checkout, you'll receive a third off your order plus free worldwide shipping. Head on over to tweakedaudio.com to check out the range. And when you're ready to order, use coupon code GEEK, that's G-E-E-K, GEEK, at checkout for a third off and free worldwide shipping. We thank Tweaked Audio for their support.
This podcast is proudly sponsored by Amazon. Amazon has all of your needs for all occasions. Amazon stocks a large range of pretty much everything. Everything from automotive to baby to computers, payment cards, groceries, health and personal care, and everything for Amazon Kindles, ebooks, movies and television, magazines, office products, and stuff for your patio, lawn, and garden. Hey, they even sell sports goods. If you're into sports ball. If you're ready to check out the range at Amazon.com, use geek-io.net/Amazon to help out the Geek.io podcast network. We get a little bit of a kickback through our affiliate link there. That's geek-io.net/Amazon. Amazon. Everything for every occasion. Everything for every occasion may not be the official slogan for Amazon. Some products not available in all areas.
Generic Live Show is sponsored by ProXPN. ProXPN is an uber-secure VPN that believes you should be able to use the internet how you want to, by encrypting all traffic that goes through it. It keeps all of your data private and your IP is completely hidden, so your location is secure. Keeps you safe from stupid cable 6 strike rules and more. With everything going on, ProXPN is a good investment and is very affordable, and won't break the bank. Keep your traffic safe. Go to proxpn.com and use GEEK20, that's G-E-E-K, number 0, GEEK20, for 20% off the already really low price, starting at $6.25 a month. We thank ProXPN for their support of the Generic Live Show. We're here to give you a big dose of genericness. This is the Generic Live Show.
Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. We're doing it for Geek.io. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show. The Discord lines are now open. You can head on over to geek-io.net/Discord and join Channel General. I'm in there, hanging out. You can join in the conversation. That plug's great for. I just realized something. That plug's great for podcast listeners. They should join in live then. I mean, that's not my fault. So yes, you can. You can join in the conversation there. You can join in the conversation there. These are my headphones. Thanks though. So we had a story sent to us. Oh, my computer's freaking out. So CJ Boat sent in a story about killer whales. Now, killer whales, you wouldn't think are known. DirectX says, did you steal your headphones from your sitter? And I'm like, no, they're mine. DirectX, well, give me it then. I want it. The headphones are good. I love my headphones. So yes, killer whales, I do like these headphones. A killer whale has been taught by scientists to copy human speech. Again, thank you CJ Boat for sending along this story. Researchers are studying a 14-year-old killer whale named Wilkie. That's a weird name. Who was well trained and had taught how to copy behaviors in a previous study. How do I? Ah, there we go. Researchers are studying the 14-year-old female. I just read that. Willie is recorded mimicking English words like hello, bye-bye, and 1-2, as well as the name of her trainer, Amy. Killer whales used, to quote, killer whales use their blowhole to make noises, much like all the rest of us, along with speaking out your nose, so we're not expecting it to be perfect. Dr. Jose Armson, a researcher at, wow, these names really drew me up, at the University of Madrid, who led the study. But we are surprised of how close they are. There you go. Scientists wanted to understand how capable whales are of imitating noises, so they can understand how whales learn in their natural habitat. In addition to human sounds, Wiki is was exposed to make noises other than killer whale to see if it was capable of imitating them. Okay. The results of the experiment were documented in a research journal that no one will read. After listening to human or whale sound, Wiki was requested to reproduce her, saying, "Do this." Wiki's calf, a 3-year-old named Moana, was taught to mimic 5 unique sounds and could use this to test his mother. Human sounds were taught directly from the killer whale's usual repertoire of noises, and they could provide more advanced test of her ability to imitate. There is a video, and it's adorable, and we're going to show it right now, because why not? And there's a commercial. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, check out Black Panther. I hear Black Panther is going to be a good movie. Even though, yeah, that is Black Panther. check out Black Panther.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
By the way, these are just pictures of killer whales, I'm sure.
Hello. 1, 2.
Oh, it's adorable.
1, 2.
Okay, that's not so adorable.
1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Kia Cerato S has just been awarded Australia's best small car.
Huh. Killer whales? Really? They know how to do Kia commercials now? Huh. Do you see how that works? It's pretty good. You know, the Kia Soul. You know, a great small affordable car according to the killer whales. Man, the Independent really just nailing it today. Despite their intelligence, other primates are not generally capable of such imitation. The article continues. What else is there? In the wild, different killer whale groups demonstrate unique vocal quote-unquote dialects when they are demonstrated of copying noises made by other species. Quote, they have been known to imitate bottlenose dolphins and sea lions, Dr. Armisen said. Quote, we still don't fully understand why some animals learn to mimic, but there are a few possibilities. Dr. Alex Thornton, a senior lecturer in cognitive evolution at the University of Exeter, who was not involved with the study, but just got a quote because why not? Some animals imitate others to deceive them, while other animals appear to do so in order to show off their potential mates. Show off to their potential mates. That's a weird thing to be doing while mating, by the way, is to go, look what I can do. Just mimic them. I'd like to imagine that they'd like to make fun of them too, just like to poke fun at them and go hee 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 hee. See Anyway, thank you, CJ. CJ, that's adorable. And now that this study is set the way, I'm sure that more researches will be happening during that. Let me take that. Try that again. More research will be happening for more cute, adorable animal sounds. That did not make sense. All right, let's kick this hour home as we continue here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. Well, we're going to be taking you to the Generic Live Locker Room as we tell you everything you need to know about the game that's already started. Oh yeah, we can check in on the big game. Live sportsball coverage on the Generic Live Show as we continue next on the Generic Live Show. Thanks for joining us. It's Dale Campbell here with you. It's 10 o'clock.